All right, thank you, Anthony. So, from what you said earlier on, you had a broker when you saw the business and you wanted to buy. So, what was the role of the broker in the whole deal?
So basically, the broker goes around to all different financial institutions to make sure that you have enough capital to buy the business. So basically, essentially, that they take the hard work from you to go to different banks to have a look to see if you can afford to borrow the money. So they do that for you. Um, and they obviously know your capital and how much you can borrow. Um, but every different bank is different. So some will lend you, say, a certain amount, but some will say 100,000, and some will lend you 150,000, depending on your capital. So they essentially take the hard work out of from you to go and do the work for yourself. Because they want the loan because they want the business.
Exactly.
And they want to get some business too. So they'll make sure that you get the money basically that you need to buy the business.
Right. Okay. And you also mentioned the accountants. And from what I heard you say earlier, you had checked, you had done your maths, you had done all this. So what's the role of the accountants in all this?
Oh, they have a look at the bookwork of the previous owner.
Yeah.
And they go through what he's earning and what his expenses are, how much he made in this year, and how much how much he made 2 years ago, how much he made last year, how much he's made in the last 6 months. So they'll be able to tell you whether it's a profitable business for you to buy or not. The price is right and all that sort of thing.
Right. Okay, so beyond the accountant, the broker, and the lawyer, is there any other person involved in the whole process?
Well, the council's involved as well. Not really. I mean, that's about it, I think. Yeah, just basically the solicitor, the accountant, the landlord as well. Sorry,
The landlord. Okay.
You got to, but that's through the solicitor anyway. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So, during your business journey, what has been like, or what would you look back and say was the most difficult or challenging time you faced in business, and how did you overcome that time?
I would say the staff. They've got to be, I suppose, happy in their environment as well. So obviously you liaise with them, the staff, and you make sure that they're comfortable and happy in their job. And if there's any strain, that it gets discussed. And I always ask them, I say, "Oh, how are you going today? You feeling okay?" Or if we have a really big rush or something that's very busy, I make sure they're okay, because sometimes it can be it's intense. Those rushes can be very intense. Rushes as in, business overload. So food overload, that people are ordering a lot of food and the staff are getting tired. Just make sure that they're okay. And so that's one of the biggest challenges, and showing up, the staff showing up. Sometimes they don't show up,
Right.
so you've got to fill in the gaps, and you've got to maybe work a little bit harder sometimes. And so they're the challenges, because it's all about the customer getting the product that they get every day. Consistency, which is what we've talked about before, consistency of the same product, good every day. So
Right.
that's a challenge.
I can imagine, like, maybe in the morning you just get this call, sorry, I'm sick today, I can't make it. And maybe 2-3 people are calling and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen here today?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's happened a few times. Yeah.
So how do you keep your staff motivated to want to go like all out to apply themselves to the job?
Well, it's about getting personal with them, mainly because there's all different ages the staff are. So you've got to be, you've got to know them quite well, and they've got to respect you as well. So, so it gains a little bit of, you know, getting into their life a little bit, getting into their life, making sure that, you know, things are going well in their life as well. And if things aren't, that you need to be compassionate enough and say, oh, I hope, you know, are you okay? Or I hope that situation works out for you, and is there anything I can do to help in that situation? So there's a lot of that one-on-one sort of personal relationship sometimes, where you need to get in deep and dig deep into their lives, and make sure that they're okay and they're comfortable and they want to work for you. So gaining that trust, gaining that respect is something very important as well.
Right. So how do you manage workplace dynamics? Probably where you have, maybe you have a staff that is really good, but some of the workers might be having issues with them, for example, or you have a worker who is really slow, and it's slowing down the work, and every other person is becoming, you know, agitated, like, and you have customers to serve. You don't want to have your customers seeing disputes on the front line. How do you manage that?
Yeah, it's basically talking to the individuals that may be a little slower. It's basically encouraging them, getting down to their level, making sure that they know their job well, and encouragement really goes a long way. But yeah, sometimes you need to have that one-on-one conversation with them and just say, look, you know, we've noticed that, you know, the food's not going out fast enough. Can you lift your game a little bit? And sometimes they say, oh, you know, I was busy. I said, that's okay. You know, just make sure that, you know, next time you can pick it up a little bit. If you need extra help, is there anything we can do to help you? Just little things like that. But those one-on-one conversations are needed sometimes, and you need to pull people aside and have those conversations with them. But it's not about getting angry at them and all that. It's about just relating with them, just saying, look, this is the situation. Is there anything we can do to help in the situation? Or that's basically all it is, liaising with them.
Right. Thank you very much. So I would go back a bit to keeping a business you found to be profitable. So from relationship point of view, you find out that some people who are probably used to the old owner, they love the old owner, and are usually coming there probably because of the old owner. When they find out the old owner is not there, then there might be that, and then want to pull back.
Yes.
So how do you keep that momentum going such that when the old owner, after the transition, those customers are still happy coming back in spite of missing the influence of the old owner?
Yeah, they see a new face.
Yeah.
And they, but it's basically, like I said earlier, keeping the product the same. It comes down to the product. It comes down to the customer relations as well, where, you know, the old owners were very friendly. They knew everyone. So you've got to be friendly as well. And you've got to make sure that the customers that are coming in are comfortable.
Yeah.
They feel a good environment, good vibe from you. And the product, you know, the product has got to be the same. If it's better, even better again. You'd hope that.
Yeah.
But, you know, so it's just all customer relations. They want to see that, you know, you're a good person and you respect everyone, and you're a people person, which I am. I'm a people person. I'll talk to anybody. That's just how I'm wired. And you've got to be like that in business, you know. And so yeah, people relations. They've got to know that, you know, you respect them.
Yeah.
Just treat them with respect, and give them the product that they want. I
Right.
suppose. That's what it comes down to.
Right. Okay. I'll play the devil's advocate a little bit here.
Okay.
So, when you look at cultural dynamics, basically, the way a culture, maybe someone from Italy, for example, would relate and perceive friendliness in business or being a people person might be different from probably the way maybe someone with a Russian background, or maybe different from the way someone with an African background, would relate. So basically, how do you manage such dynamics when it comes to, showing up as friendly? So for some people, they're a lot reserved and they feel for my customer, being friendly is probably, having the right product. For example, bowing your head to say, oh, thank you, and all that, and then going back in. Well, some people might find you actually being there to discuss and chit chat and do all that as being friendly. So how do you manage such dynamics if you're buying a new business?
Yeah, I always said to some people, sometimes you've got to be a counsellor, you've got to be a you've got to be you've got to be many things. But then again, like the smile, it comes back to a smile. A simple smile can melt anyone's, I believe, anyone's heart. in a way. I mean, a smile does a lot to the customer. Like if they come in and they've had a bad day and you've got a grumpy face, it's only going to repel them away. So it's about, I suppose different cultures have different things. I mean, you get some serious customers coming in, and you get some that don't want to talk, and you get some that do want to talk. So it's getting that dynamics right. Normally when people do want to talk, I do ask them how their day is going and whatever, and then it all comes out. And that's fine, if you've got time to talk, but sometimes you don't have that time, so you've got to keep it short. Short and sweet. My dad used to always say that. Just keep it short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Like, yep.
And not spend the whole day talking and not even serving them at all.
Because there's other customers to serve. But yeah, a simple smile always goes a long way. It doesn't matter sort of what. I think every culture understands a smile is a good thing, So.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Anthony. This has been very insightful, and I hope it helps someone out there who's been wondering, how do I buy a food business? How do I run a food business? How do I balance culture and all the rest, cultural dynamics and what people want? So yeah, thank you very much, Anthony.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.